SE Don's Spotify playlist now updated. The link is in the description. Click on it, follow the Dons on Spotify, and listen to what we're listening to.
Give the Dons 5,000 likes.
Straight up. I had a dream I was rich and I didn't want to wake up.
SE Don's home and away, and goalkeeper kits available now, fam.
That is right, the SE Dons kits are now exclusively available from sedons.com.
Donny, you're talking too much. Why ain't they got it yet?
Hey Donny, we gone global too, fam.
That's right, also, you can be anywhere in the world and buy your SE Dons kit. Again, all exclusive to sedons.com.
Somebody tell me what you're waiting for.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the DONCAST. Today we've got Manny and Marf from UTR. We're going to be talking about the London Cup as well as the scene, the Sunday League scene of everyone recording their games on YouTube. So firstly, for the people that don't know who you are, of course a lot of people do, would you like to introduce yourself to them?
Okay, I'm Manny. I'm a YouTuber. I've been doing this stuff for 7 years plus now, which seems like time just flowing by. I started the Sunday League stuff maybe, I think it's 6 years now, and I started out with a team called Teviot Rangers, did that for a year and a bit, then went on to LTMSF, and then a couple of years later decided to do our own thing, and that's where we formed UTR, aka Under the Radar FC. As we know, weekend football, Saturday football, that can draw the love out of it, so we were just trying to find that again. So that's the origination of it.
I'm Marf. I am, like I'd say, the brains behind UTR. He's the face. I literally do everything from manage the team to the runnings of the whole team. Like, and yeah, man, that's me.
A lot of people have seen obviously Manny, and we know you're not your average YouTuber. When we're talking numbers, we're talking what, 1.8 mil, is it?
Something like that.
Something like that.
He knows the exact number in it, yeah.
So what was your kind of draw to going into the Sunday League scene? What made you go, do you know what, it's gaming mainly, isn't it? So FIFA.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what? I'd just say it's God, you know, like, and I'm not trying to make it go religious or anything, but I didn't want to do Sunday League. Obviously, I wasn't playing football at the time, and then someone from my sixth form was like, hey, do you want to come down to play football on a Sunday? And then, I don't know, someone might have said to me, just take a camera and film it, actually, you might get a video from it or whatever. So I went there, took a little G7X and then just started filming it, posted one video, and then it boomed. Everyone was like, oh, we want to see more of this, we want to see more of it. And that was when I was calling it my Sunday League experience, is more of a personal thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I was playing in a team, but I was more focusing on myself in the team, if that makes sense. But yeah, I didn't choose to go and do it and for it to boom. It just something that just happened.
It's an authentic journey. So I'd like to, obviously people watching won't understand that we've all got relationships from previous jobs, whether it be Andrew doing his music, yourself doing your YouTube stuff. How did you actually meet people like Donny and stuff like that? So, because he built the connection between us.
I think it's social media, it's the power of social media. And growing up, it's crazy for me because in school everyone used to be like, Don Strapzy, like the name used to ring around the classroom. It's like,
the hell.
And back then I would hear the music and stuff, but I'd never put a face to the name for a long time. And I did that couple years into school, and then all of a sudden we started following each other on Twitter and stuff like that. And
It was authentic as well, man.
Yeah.
It was love, because you was with LM at the time, and you was kind of supportive of what was doing anyway.
yeah, because Bradley
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
a few of your players, and he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
look at these guys,
Seamless,
they're like the
yeah.
guy that I'm
Yeah,
beating,
yeah,
and all
yeah,
that,
yeah,
they make
yeah.
a bit of noise and stuff like that. And I've been watching since like your second or third game that you posted.
Yeah.
So it's not a thing like, I think for some people they might think, oh, like, you see it as competition and stuff like that. Competition is healthy, it's nice and all that, but when I see people doing stuff well and doing stuff that I may not have done, or they're doing it in their way, then I'm like,
But not everyone might not know that you're from South East London. This is, you lot are local as well. This is all from South East London, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I was saying, you're from South East London, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So not everyone would maybe not know that.
Yeah.
But like, in terms of your YouTube journey, Manny, yeah, how did that even happen? Your YouTube journey, was it something you sat down one day and said, I want to do YouTube, or you just...
Do you know what? That just comes...
Because your brother's Toby, he's in the Sidemen.
Yeah.
So how did you lot choose this direction?
I think it's crazy. I think for a lot of people, the image and the thought is like, oh, like Manny and Toby started YouTube and Toby just boomed and then Manny just tagged along sort of thing. But it's like both of us have always had a love for gaming. And we asked our mum for this thing called a HD PVR. It's the first thing to sort of like one of the first things to capture gaming and stuff. So I asked my mum for it. She bought it. Tobes then took it and then started doing YouTube. But even then, like, it was a thing where I learned how to do it from him, and then he sort of showed me the ropes, and then he started growing. He was on like 7K. I started my channel, and then he got caught up with the other guys, and then it snowballed from there. But I think one thing for me has always been to make my own lane. I don't like to be under anyone's umbrella. So even if like you're gonna be successful, if I'm successful, I'll do it in my own way. So myself and Toby, we have totally different content, but we're doing it in our own ways, and that's one of the key things for me. And also with YouTube, it's like I never wanted to be regular, and I always said I don't want to be another number. I used to say it all through my school from a very young age. I don't want to be another number. I don't want to be regular. I don't want to get caught up in the system. I never knew how that was going to happen. I ended up going to uni. I left after maybe like 2 months, and that was just because I was like, I don't want to work in an office. If I'm doing accounting and finance, that's going to get me there. So why am I going to spend 3 years doing it for people saying, just in case, as a backup? I was like, I don't want to do it at all, so why do I want it as a backup? So I left uni on like 60k subs. Within the month after leaving, I hit like 100k subs. And then from there, just building, and didn't look back.
Obviously, being in the Sunday League scene, and you see it's become a trend, hasn't it? Within the UK mainly, obviously, because of grassroots football, people have really taken a love to it. What is your opinion on SC Dons? I'd like to know what you think about us, because we are all content creators, and it's hard to not almost copy the format of another team when you see that they've got a successful pattern or a format. So when you think about the Dons, what resounds with you lot at UTR?
For us, I think we see that you lot have kind of set a standard in the sense that you've made grassroots football as popular as, I say, Premier League football. As in, you have the fans, you have the environment, you have the songs, you have literally so much layers to a typical Sunday team that no one can ever call grassroots typical again. So when people are like, when I see a lot of now new YouTube teams like forming and doing stuff, a lot of them tend to follow a format that's kind of been written by you lot, if that makes sense. Which to me, I can only see that as like that's crazy. That's amazing. That you've been able to create a Sunday League team and it get as much love and go so far. So how we at UTR see the Dons, brothers, family, and just smashing it, literally.
You've been on the other side of it, haven't you?
Turn the lyric cam.
Before we played you, we've always had like a level of respect, and I remember after the game, like this could have been, I don't know, maybe just like, you know, when you've lost the game, you sort of feel some type of way or whatever. But I remember after the game, you guys were thinking, wow, what do you think of UTR?
What do we think of UTR? Shit! What do we think of shit? UTR! Thank you! That's alright! We hate UTR! We hate UTR!
Part of me was like, gonna be a little bit salty about that, but I was like, do you know what? On the other side, if we'd won the game, we probably would have made as much more noise, and you guys might have felt it. But it's like, it is what it is. Like, it's a game of football. It was a tight game in the end, and we lost it. Do you know what I mean? But when I think of you guys as a whole, you guys are rowdy, you guys are loud, but generally, for the most part, I know it comes from a good place because I know yourselves, and I know that you guys are about grafting and sending out the message that, listen, if you put your mind to something, you can do it. So the message is positive, although a lot of people may not like you just because of how it comes across and how you get in people's faces and stuff like that. But that's your character, that's how it is. So I won't come out and disrespect you for that. We're different, cool, but difference doesn't mean being bad. Do you know what I mean? So I respect you guys, I respect what you do, the message you put out there, and a lot of people, when they see me, they won't just mention UTR, they mention the Dons. Do you know the Dons? Do you know what I mean? And that's a big thing.
That's massive. That is massive because it shows you what the scene is, and it's funny because I feel like sometimes we are tarnished with a certain brush of being loud and noisy, but we are. Do you remember the episode when we played them?
Yeah.
Donny had his moment.
I got killed, man. I got killed because I had a little back and forth with your players. Yeah. Our comments was, Donny, this, they killed us, bro. I said, you know what, Manny's a powerhouse. I said, this guy's a powerhouse. Yeah, don't go to war with Manny. But it's But again, listen, that we're just, it's South London. South London is how it is. You've played FIFA. Because it even comes down to when you game and do gaming. Like, we're not really gamers in that, but me and him will play UFC or FIFA with the boys and that. And the trash talk, it's not a joke. Like, it make you want to. One time Mitchell kicked the PlayStation.
I had to take
he
it
held
away.
a 7, yeah.
Remember?
And then like man would just talk. So we've kind of come up with the whole kind of trash talk thing. Do you know what I mean? And also, if we're honest, it's a tactic that we use. You know, when we play against teams, we know that we're loud. We know that we're able to trash talk and that, and it can affect people. And it works for us. Do you know what I mean? So it's good when you can kind of do it and teams don't take it so personally. But there is other teams that, you know, you talk like that and then they hold, like you said, they don't like it. You know what I mean?
I feel like a lot of people forget that football's not just about the physical attributes; it's mental as well.
Yeah,
all sports are the same. So when you're going on the pitch, you're not trying to just physically beat the team. Mentally, you want to beat them as well. Because the next time you play them, you want them to remember you played the Dons. That's why. And
like you have to with the Dons, we wasn't winning from the get go from when we started. Like when we started, we was just bang average side. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And we was winning games by just wanting it more than the other team, getting in their heads, talking rubbish, and that's how we was winning our games. Do you know what I mean? But
I think you've hit the nail on the head, and it's leading us into our next bit, which is the actual results of the London Cup.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of heading to. But I did want to say that game against UTR was a close game. It was a very close game. It was a 1-0 win for us.
Closer than we thought.
And that's the truth.
It was going to be that tight.
Yeah, we didn't think. Like if I'm honest, I thought I was going because I thought, we're going to win this game. Do you know what I mean? But it was close. It was close.
A wonder goal.
It was a big. It was a finish. It was a mad finish.
I literally can't think of much that separated us. But that goal.
Yeah.
That goal was a mad.
And that's what, because there's a lot we want to talk about today in terms of UTR as well. So I'm not gonna go into what I want to say at the moment. But let's go on to the London Cup.
Right. So going through some of the results, the biggest thing which came out of that last round was the fact that every team from South pretty much they won their games.
Every team from South.
Every team. And it showed.
Some big teams went out.
Yeah, big teams went out.
Kenningwell knocked out a team called Olympia. They're a good side.
Good
They're a good side. But they got to the final 2 years ago, innit? Against Dumlupana. Yeah. We knocked out Dumlupana 1-0. We beat them the same round last year as well. They're a good side. Lambeth went through against Highgate.
And that was on penalties.
Highgate got to the semis last year as well.
Highgate got to the semis, innit? And M-Boys knocked out Rising Ballers. I don't think anyone expected Rising Ballers to be knocked out.
But I watched their video
You saw it.
about the game. They were playing two wingers at centre back.
Rising Ballers.
Not to give them any excuses.
Welcome to Sunday League.
Welcome to Sunday League.
Because it's like Rising Ballers, we've got a lot of respect for Rising Ballers. We played them in pre-season, and I said that's the best side we've played. That's the truth. We got it wrong tactically, 1,000,000%. Like tactically, we went about that. We changed our tactics for that game, and we learned from that. We haven't lost since. But the reason why I want to bring it up is because they were one of the best sides I think that we've played. Yeah. Because it was stripped down to just a football match. Does that make sense? It sounds dumb, but like it was just a football match. So if we wasn't able to bring what we bring on the sideline and everything, they were the better football team. And I was thinking, you know what? They're in contention to win the London Cup if they can play like that. But I was also confident. I wanted them in the London Cup because I wanted our revenge. And I knew if we get them in a Sunday League setting, after we've learnt what we played against them, I was confident we'd beat them. But yeah, I watched the episode.
They got violated, to be honest.
They got moved. Like M-Boys really. They went South London. Because M-Boys are just a Sunday. The bigger M-Boys. I swear that did we meet them man in Cancun?
Let's see Don start as a grassroots club. Yes. Now we're global. I'm gonna tell you this. We sell our own merch. Yes. We play every Sunday. Yes. We're the biggest team on YouTube. Now what are you gonna tell me? Yes. You're gonna tell me we're gonna stop? Never. We're going global. Welcome to War Ground.
When we was at Copacabana.
That was him.
I swear it was.
I think
I might be wrong.
guys who said hello to us.
I might be wrong, but yeah,
Yeah.
they're from South, and they just like I said, I watched the episode, and they just done a job.
Oh,
on it.
they didn't do a Sunday. It was a Sunday league job.
Yeah.
They had no respect. They done. Do you remember like when what was it? I think it was Mourinho done that. I won 3 premierships. Respect. 19 other managers. I have won more than all of them.
What Jose did to Liverpool. What Jose did to
Jose
Liverpool.
did to Liverpool.
Yeah.
All of that.
When he went there and they said, listen, man, we don't want him to win the title. Let's just go there and destroy the party. And
But that's
did
what I'm saying. You see, when it comes to Sunday League and it comes to the real rawness, yeah, the passion has to be at that level.
Yeah.
Because do you know what? There are going to be teams that are technically better than you, which is what we realised from day one.
Yeah.
And you've got to show the other side to it because you know it already. You don't want to become the prey. You've got to be the predators out there. Mm-hmm. And I've always said this. Don't ever let other people talk about they want our heads. We want their heads. Mm-hmm. I want all of their heads. Because if you go into a game and you think, it's because we record our games all the time. They want to beat us. The mentality shift is all wrong. Mm. So in that London Cup round, what I was so impressed by was the fact that the South London teams all went through and they had big oppositions. Diploma. We can all say it. They pay players. Do you understand? Yeah. I don't need to hide that. There's other teams at Sunday League level that pay their players. Do you understand?
I think that's so crazy.
That's a serious issue.
They brought players in. They brought players in for that.
For that game.
Yeah, brought players in. That's what they do. But the chemistry showed.
And that can also what was one of the things that we picked up on is that if you bring in players just for 1 or 2 games, you're losing the actual whole point of your whole Sunday League side. Why you pay for the badge? I remind him of his importance. You have the same importance at UTR. You don't want to be somebody on the sideline playing. You've got to be there battling with your boys. That's what the badge is. You're representing each other, right? Do you understand?
I think as well, like when it comes to that stuff in terms of bringing people in and whatnot, like one player can spoil the whole team. And it doesn't need to be when you have players come into the sidelines and what's my man on that?
Yeah.
That's a big issue because that changes your second guess. Do I want to pass to him or am I going to get the ball? Like it changes the dynamic and it takes you away from the main aim, which is to play football. And generally, I think that's one of the things that we've learned, even against you. We played some people that never played before.
Yeah.
We just chucked him in. That was our first pre-season game.
Where's is Thingy still playing for you at the back? He's playing Rebel.
He's back now.
Yeah, he's sick.
Back now. Different. Because he's like someone like yourself. Someone that talks is so important.
Especially
you could have people that are way technically better than you, but someone that talks is so important because there's some people that are so technically gifted, but if you don't speak, it doesn't help the team. You need to help the team, so it's a voice as well.
So going into the London Cup this year, I don't know.
You beat Catford, didn't it? 3-1. You beat Catford 3-1, and you got who? Kills the man.
Kills the main.
Yeah.
Kills the main.
How do you feel about that?
I'm excited. I feel personally.
This is your first year in the London Cup,
First year, yeah. Personally, I'm excited. Like after the first game, I said like London Cup is one of the biggest cups in Sunday League period. So to be able to challenge in that is exciting and kind of refreshing for us because
a win will put you into the last 16.
Literally. So we've done well in our league, but a lot of people don't really respect the Westwood League in terms of ability. So us being in the London Cup and going as far as possible is one of the most important things for me personally because it shows that one, our league is good and how good we are as well. Because yes, we are a YouTube team, but I don't feel like we are seen as one of the best YouTube teams.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because that's something we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Because we feel as though like you might feel the same. Like UTR is not in a conversation as one of the best Sunday League teams out there. Honestly, you got all these subscribers. Everyone knows who you are. But that's what I'm saying. How do you guys feel about that? Or for example, I wrote down your slogan, which is work hard under the radar, let success make the noise. So is this something? Are you? It sounds mad, but are you literally deliberately under the radar?
Do you know what?
Because you don't get discussed, bro, and that's the honest truth.
A lot of that comes from myself as a person. At the end of the day, if you're in charge of something or behind something, how you are will reflect on what you're doing. So I talk less.
Yeah.
I don't get into all sorts of conversations or whatever. Like I think BT's did a video on us or whatever and rating our players and stuff like that. It's like you don't really know our players. If you judge it off the videos, fair play, more for you. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, videos will only show you so much. I have the control over what goes in the videos and what doesn't. And one of the things that really showed me this is, say for example, first season, one of our players who in the team wasn't really rated like that was the one that was rated by the comments. You know?
Okay.
And that's no problem with me. I don't really care what the comments say because it is they're gonna have their opinions. But I just thought, so the way I edit this and the way I put this out reflects on people's perceptions of our players. And I was thinking, at the end of the day, like, I don't like to draw out our players and make our players look bad if they've done something, but the best player might be the one who's given the ball away 20 times that game. You know what I'm saying? But even in terms of us not getting put into conversations, because I don't really get drawn into all the, who's better, who's that. For me, it's like a case of we do our thing, we'll keep it to ourselves, and it is what it is. Yes, we do want to play teams like yourself, we want to play BTs and stuff like that. If it doesn't make sense at the time, then no. You get what I mean? So, say for example, this season we were supposed to play, but because of lockdown and stuff, all our players are finished all over the place. So it's like,
because we were meant to play anyway and it was all got,
But right now I think I'm confident in our defence especially. I think our defence is...
You've recruited well.
You've done well.
You've recruited very well.
is a good sign.
Yeah.
And Easy or something.
Is a good player.
Is he related to the other one?
No.
They're friends.
Close friends though.
Okay.
So like what's your plans this year? Like, so for example, the London Cup, are you in this cup to try and win this cup, or are you there just to see how you go?
I'll say this now.
And how do you feel about it?
There's the mentality of being in the cup just for being in its sake is not here.
Yeah.
For me personally, we say it, like we want everything, but we're just not as vocal as some teams are. Like we don't scream it, for example, but being in this London Cup and winning this London Cup changes a lot. And it changes the perception of everything. And for me, going back to the question that you asked, Drew, is like us not being in the conversation. Some, like for me personally, I haven't even spoken to them anyway. But it's slightly, it sometimes rattles me because I'm thinking we do so much. We show you that. We show you our bad games. We show you our good games. We show you everything, and we show you that how good we are and the ability that we have in our team. So for us to get like overlooked for other teams, I'm thinking like this is a bit mad.
Yeah.
When you're doing things right, people are jealous of it. When you're doing things well or things that people can't do, then they're jealous of it. If they could do it, they wouldn't be sitting there talking about you doing it. That's just the straight facts.
But you also have to understand that the fact that they've even got an opinion in it is amazing. Because before, if you said you were playing on a Sunday, it'd be like, who cares? Like,
I also think it's a big season for you guys, anyway, because I think maybe once you start winning silverware as well. I know you won a cup recently, right? Yeah, so I think once you start building up them big, like for example with us, where we've got the Kent Cup, we've got some county cups, we've got some big cups. It gives you more, like what we've been winning for the past 3-4 years. We've got silverware, so I reckon. I feel like because we're so involved in that community, I feel like your name is beginning to be spoken about now. Because like the London Cup thing was big. Like if you can beat these lot, you're in the last 16, and it's a statement. Also, again, the Woolwich and Oldham League, it's like it doesn't get the respect. Like, who's it? Peckham Rye are in your league, right?
Yeah. Peckham Rye in the league. Yeah.
Are they in the top division as well?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't really get spoken about, and I think. What I do know of the Woolwich and Oldham League is run very, very, very well. It's run very well. Yeah. But I do think that the Alberton League is the top division in terms of level.
There's more strong teams
overall.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
But you know what I think as well? I think after our first season, our first season was fairly easy.
Just getting used to it.
Second season, people realised actually no, these guys are the favourites, so we want to turn up against them. Second season, what we lacked was that.
Was that last season that just got cut out?
Yeah.
Where was you playing? Was you in the West one?
Yeah, we
top one.
Top one.
Yeah.
That break off the COVID stuff saved us in a way because we weren't having a good season.
Yeah.
Because for some of our players, sometimes I think it was a thing where when so and so doesn't want to turn up, or when we go a goal down, there's a mentality where people, it's like we're not used to losing or something because we've been winning so much. But now I think this season what we've added is we have a graft to our game, and we've brought in some players that are ready to graft, and when it does go 1-0 down, they're the ones to come out and be vocal and be like, hang on, what's going on here? Let's go. Do you know what I mean? Just because we conceded.
Perfect example of that is the London Cup game. We went down first 5 minutes.
I saw it, mad goal.
Crazy goal, sick goal.
Yeah.
And then it's like last season, if that happened in the first 5 minutes, we may be non-existent, or we will react in the last 20 minutes. For this season, with that London Cup game, what was it? 2 minutes later we scored a goal, and 3 minutes after that we scored another goal.
Straight off.
It's like the heart that the boys show now is absolutely amazing. Like for me, being a manager or whatever you want to call me, it's two different sides of the coin. It's like last season didn't have any heart at all. This season it's like you want to fight for your life.
Do you feel that I've had my fair few team talks here and there. Do you feel like team talks are part of that?
100%.
Have you had any team talks that have stand out to you, for example, you think that really was the reminder of what we're playing for? Do you understand?
I think when sometimes, say for example, Tolu, our captain, he comes out and he can lead not only with his actions but with his voice. So when he comes out and he says certain stuff, I think he said one time, and it hit with me, I don't know about some people days out in team talks, but he said, what are you fighting for, not just on the pitch but off the pitch? Like, what does it mean to you to be here on a Sunday? Like, this is a lot more than football. And I think for me that message is important, because sometimes people just think, oh yeah, another game Sunday, whatever, like just played yesterday, might not give them all. But for me personally, how I am, I may not be the best player technically, or I might not be the most gifted player, but I'll always give you 110%. You'll always see me dart around the pitch. If there's a ball there, I want to win it. I don't care the size. I'll go into a tackle with UG. And I know a lot of people wouldn't say that. You can roll me over, I'll still go again.
I went in one with your brother last time.
Yeah, he's worse than me. He will go in for any
sport. I'll rate him for that as well.
He's worse than me. But I think it's a mentality, like, winning doesn't just come by talent. We all know that. It's a mentality. It's something you don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want to be pushed over. And if you do get pushed over, you want to go again. You know? And that's where it comes from, like you saying, we played Rising Ballers, we lost, I want my revenge. You know, you don't just stop there. And that's why we were ready to play you again. We want our revenge, you know?
Are there any teams you'd prefer to play closer to the final? Let's say you get into the last 16. Are there any teams you'd like to avoid?
No.
I'm
not scared of you. I'll tell you now. Just two teams that I want to play. Forget Manny.
Manny's thinking, no, don't say it.
I don't even know what he's going to say. Lambeth and you lot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're the two that, for me, would be a great game. Whoever wins. But I want that. I don't agree. I don't believe in hiding, because if we hide, if we get you in the final and then lose, it's like, at least we got to the final. That's rubbish to me. That's not a good mentality. Like, we want to be the best. So if you lot are seen as the best, we want to play you and we want to beat the best. Do you get it? So that's the mentality that you should have.
Are those the two teams that you see as the threat for the London?
Yeah. I don't. But to be fair, I don't know a lot of the other ones. So So from what I know of them, of you two, they're the two teams for me.
And that's a good thing, because we say it all the time, because we got drawn against Dunlop early this year, and when I first saw it, I was like, it's a game that we could lose. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But we're on a thing of like the same. I want to play everyone. Like,
you're gonna play them eventually.
It doesn't matter. You're gonna have to play them. You can keep getting easy games, but like you said, you'll get to a final and then what? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So
I think it's like my dad says something. He says, as if like you eat what's in front of you.
Yeah.
You know, like he always complains about. You see, when managers are resting players for a game and stuff like that, and they lose the game, he's like, play your best side. You don't know what's going to happen in the next game or who. Just play what's in front of you. Do you know what I mean? You shouldn't be scared of anyone already to back down. So winner's mentality in terms of just like, come on, David and Goliath every time.
I like that. I remember when I said to you, and he was like, you said to me, I said, Manny, I'm coming for you. Do you remember when we met at Fisher? I looked at him. I said, it's men against boys, Manny. And he was like, no. He said, don't worry. He said, but my name's Manny. He was like, I'm blessed. What is it? You were saying to me, your name means being blessed or something.
I said, God with us.
Yeah. I said, okay. I said, don't try and use that. I said, please.
But it's true though, because our faith is very strong as well, especially me and G. And I think I've noticed that about you as well, and it's like it's a real thing, because we're the same. Like, we go into things on a thing of like, God really is. We feel like He's on our side. Do you understand? And kind of when you take that into something, you feel like you can't lose. How important is your faith to you?
It's one of the most important things, if not the most important. It's how I was brought up. It's what I know. I don't know anything else. So when people see things on a base level, I see it on a spiritual level.
Yeah.
In a sense, and my Twitter bio, Twitter has been to whom much is given, much is tested.
Exactly.
And that's what I think it is. So sometimes I have days where, like, maybe to edit's too long, or to be in charge of stuff, or have to turn up to everything is too long. But I think God doesn't give you what you can't handle, or what you can't deal with. You know, it's because He knows you got the ability, and the more you do with what He gives you, the more you get. Do you know what I mean? And I think the reason why I held off from starting UTR in the first place was because I thought, it's too long. You have to all the admin and all of that. But from doing it and just taking that leap of faith, like, we've done something amazing. And I think it's not just the thing. Is like, I feel like I'm at a stage where I'm numb to numbers, because it's good to get accolades and stuff like that, but it doesn't change how you feel on the inside. It gives you a temporary, like, joy. So I think behind the numbers, I think, what are we doing for someone who's sat in a different country, don't know where they are, whatever, we don't know what they're going through. By them turning on that 10 to 15 minute video, 20 minute video, whatever, we're having an impact on them. And that's the same thing for you. So people might go, oh, like, numbers this, numbers that, but it's like, what is it doing for the individual? Like, I went to the AJ Tracy concert. After the concert, some guy comes up to me and he's like, oh my God, like, Manny. And he just breaks down crying in front of me. He's like, you don't know, I just lost my dad and what I've been going through. Like, you were there in, like, the hardest times. I always used to watch yours and Toby's videos, and I keep watching it. And he gave me a hug, and I was there shaking. I was like, but I'm just me, like. But you don't know the effect of what you're doing is having on other people. Like, the difference it's making for them.
It's a real community.
It's their escape.
To even add to that, we don't, like, for example, people within the football team as well, like, since people have come to, for example, you have probably heard this as well, they've started to enjoy their football more, they've started to enjoy Sunday more, they've started to enjoy life a bit more, because the satisfaction from Sunday football, or from UTR per se, that the actual environment has helped them mentally. And that to me is mental.
Dino said it to me the other day. I can't do his impression as good as Donny, but he was like, oh, George, you don't know how lucky we are. We've got 40 plus friends. And I was like, he's right. Like, to have that many friends in one place, I was like, you don't get that fortune of having that many people that you can rely on in different ways to go and speak to. And it leads me into my next thing. Like, when it comes to, like, things like the commentary and stuff, I put him as the best out there, me personally. That's my opinion. And I think everyone's got their own choice of doing it. When you're there and you're doing your commentary, do you ever feel like you should do impressions of players and things like that?
Do you know
what is your style?
My style's always been, like, because growing up playing games and stuff, even whilst you're playing the games, like myself, Toby, will be commentating, and we've watched a lot of football growing up, so people like Martin, Tyler, Andy, Gray, like, we've been listening to these people, and then you'll hear something like, what's the thing they say?
Oh, you beauty!
Oh, you beauty! Like, just hype comments and stuff like that, and that sort of sticks with you. So my style's more of like, as if I'm presenting a actual, like, Premier League game or something like that. Not to say it's professional to that level or anything. I'll chuck in a little few jokes here and there, and I feel like sometimes I've held back in terms of what I used to slap on the screen. I used to slap little hashtags and do all the little funny bits and stuff like that. But I think my style is just to make the viewer feel like they're at the game and they're watching it live. Because I've already seen the game live. So I have to go back and commentate over it in a way where it's like, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's if I'm seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird and it's kind of strange. But I think if you were to sit there and, like, watch me do Sunday League, you'd be like, like, that's why he does it, or that's how he does that.
How long does it take you to do an episode?
Hour.
I was like, to do a whole episode?
To record it?
Yeah, no, wait, as in to edit it, chop it up and do your commentary?
Probably about 2 hours.
Okay, no.
2 hours.
We did something wrong.
2 hours?
Do you know what? The thing is, because before I literally used to do everything. There was a stage when I was first doing Sunday League. I recorded the game, got back, cut up the game, did a voiceover, and then uploaded it that same day.
Yeah.
But that was too much. So I was like, oh nah, I'll do it like a week after. And then from that, like me doing all the score graphics and stuff, that time it used to take me 4 to 5 hours to do.
I've seen your thing. You've got like different multiple screens, haven't you?
Yeah, my setup, yeah.
What is it? What's that for?
I got one for gaming, 2 for computer. So like, to make it easier, like if I'm editing, I have it on full screen as well. So I can see stuff up close. But no, it takes me like 2 hours now because I've put some of the weight off to other people in terms of graphics and all of that, because that would be too time consuming, and also that'd be something that I would have to learn. You know, if someone can do it better, why not get them to do it? And I think what people don't remember as well is like, for you guys, Dons is like your main thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm running the FIFA stuff and Twitch alongside that, so I don't get that much time to put into Sundays or into Under the Radar as a whole. Yeah. So it's like, when you think of UTR, you're not just thinking of UTR, you're thinking of Manny, and it comes under the umbrella. And I think to an extent that side kind of does UTR a disservice in a way, because people see it as like just my sort of thing, whereas like he'll run all the admin and stuff.
The last thing I wanted to know is, like we spoke about it, obviously we've touched the London Cup situation. That you're not afraid of anyone, basically. It's an all for all. Let's hope that the season continues. But where do you actually see YouTube football going? I'm interested to know, because we've had discussions within ourselves to kind of understand where do we think it is, because it's started to become almost the norm now to see a Sunday League side and they tell you they record their games. It's not a surprise. So where do you see Sunday League football going with the teams that are, in fact, let's just call it YouTube football as well as Sunday League and the same thing? Because you hear people, we didn't pick where we play Sunday League, we're not YouTube, but it's just,
do you know, I hate the term YouTubers, or like you're just a YouTuber. Before I was a YouTuber, I was playing football. So, not to say I'm a footballer, but before I was a YouTuber, I was playing football. But
it's what they try and throw, because they throw at us sometimes. I'm the same. Sometimes it irks me, like, oh, you're just a YouTube team. And I think, well, we've really been doing something.
A YouTube team that just turned you over.
Yeah, and even
yeah, it just makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's a YouTube team that just turned you over.
Yeah,
we are then. That's what we are.
Like people say,
why don't they love us?
Say as if it's a bad thing to be a YouTuber or something, but it's like, once you have that title YouTuber, they don't want to see you do anything else. You can't succeed in anything else. You're just a YouTuber trying something.
It's like what people are doing politics.
Say for example, JJ going into music. When he was doing music, like people were like, oh, like stick to YouTube. Why must you be stuck to one thing? If you can try your hand at other things.
Big up them, man.
Yeah, big up Sad. So
what are you doing? Are you laughing?
It's just a thing where it comes with the territory. Like I said, the only thing that brings those sort of comments around is jealousy. Me and Toby dropped his song.
Especially in entertainment.
Yeah, you done a song, but let me go back to that though, because obviously I want to know where do you see it going? If you could look into the future, what do you think could happen?
Hopefully, brands and a lot of bigger corporations will take it a lot more serious. Like you guys are on Soccer AM. You guys probably used to wake up on Saturday before going football, would watch Soccer AM.
Yeah.
That's major. That's a statement already. You know, like we've done stuff with Puma. We've gone out to like Dortmund and stuff, and like this is all coming from just the love of football. So when brands and bigger people at the top start to take it more seriously and it starts to go out there, although you will get what you guys get when BBC Sport tweet you out and be like, oh, like who's this? That's just people that are jealous, or they just don't like anything new. But they don't like change. And that's what we're going to bring to it, change. It's going to be more acceptable to see YouTubers on the TV and see YouTube teams on the TV. I think you never know, it could get its own spot as a league or something. It could.
Yeah, I'm thinking more so a league, but it will be very hard for it to be a league because obviously there's a lot of different areas to
it'll take major investment. You know what I mean?
But I think it's hard as well because everyone has their own leagues, and one of the problems that we've always had with scheduling games is because to get people during the week is one of the hardest things.
It's a myth. Midweek games is
I think you could end up seeing it on TV, like its own little slot as a starter thing. Be that on BBC iPlayer or Sky Sports.
But do you remember the Sadman? Did you play in that game at the Valley?
Yeah.
You played at that game, didn't you? So I remember hearing it because I didn't go, but I heard about it and I said to him, when we get to a cup final, like which would have been this year, I was expecting a sellout crowd, and I believe that being able to do that as a Sunday League side,
it's a statement.
It's a
Numbers
statement.
talk.
It's a big statement, and having a final or having a big tournament would then show you that there is something really going on, and we're all part of that pioneership, that leadership that's going to take it there. So if there is a league, who knows? Who knows what the future holds, really?
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, if you compare like the numbers that ourselves do to numbers in the Premier League and stuff per game watched, we're up there, if not above a lot of those games, which is crazy.
Our online presence is definitely bigger than a lot of Premier League clubs. It's mad. Obviously, the difference is they bring 50,000 people to a game. Do you know what I mean? But it's everything's changing because it's the kids, innit? It's the kids. The kids are influenced by us. Like they see us with the amount of times we get stopped in public, like you said with the guy that's hugging you and that is, it's mad. It's seriously mad. Like they support the club. They support SC Dons.
That's one thing I would say that you lot do have done really well.
Yeah.
You've involved your community to a point where you're not a Sunday League team. You're a club that I support. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, United. I mean, like me and G, and that we've been doing work in our community from young. Do you know what I mean? From like 16, we've been working within the community. So it's a big. It's always been a big thing for us, and I wouldn't say that we've actively gone out there or sat down saying, all right, how can we involve the community? It just authentically came from the way we are, the way we spend time with the supporters. Like, especially sometimes, obviously with the whole pandemic, it's been a bit nuts with bringing people to games and being able to be with fans. But sometimes like cup finals or games when there's big numbers, man, we spend 40 minutes on a pitch afterwards and it's tiring, bro. Like, to the point you almost want to say like, oh, bro, I don't want to take a picture. But we said we'll never be like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But it's just the way we treat people in business, in life. Like, we've all got manners. We know how to respect people. And I think when you treat people a certain way, it's infectious because it's real. It's not false. It's not fake. Do you know what I mean? I think people see that, and that's what they've built on.
I think that's how accessible we are to the everyday public helps us over Premier League. Like, if you go to a Man United game, you're not going to just see Paul Pogba. You see him on the pitch, but you're not going to just see him. Whereas if you come to our game or your game, they're going to see you and be able to say, hello, Manny, nice to meet you. I'm a big fan. Hello, Drew, nice to meet you. Do you know what I mean? So the accessibility helps as well.
I find you said the word that gets thrown around a lot is authentic. And the reason why, as recent as one of our uploads, which was against Shell Thorpe and the ones before that, and the causes for the game are for like mental health or suicide and things like that. For us, doing it that way is a lot more genuine and realistic rather than saying, don't commit suicide, don't do that. It's like somebody tells us a story that we can relate to or we've got a passion towards and we do it naturally, and then we're doing something the right way. Like Youth Fresh has done articles on all the teams in the community. Look, they're doing giveaways in their community. We're not Man United, or in fact not Man United. Like, we're not one of them professional football clubs that is just sending players because they pay for the club to a hospital to show that they're trying. We're doing it because this is our community, and we have to inspire from within it, and that's what Sunday League is supposed to do. You're supposed to be like, look, the boys who were on the touchline like 5-6 years ago, mums, dads, brothers, cousins, whatever, are there to support that team on a Sunday. That's what it is. You're bringing people from being at home, not doing anything on a Sunday, to come and support the team. Our family's just done that. It's just exploded to a point that our family stretches abroad. Do you understand? And that's going to happen with yourselves.
I mean, like I say it all the time, like when we was 13, 14, if there was something like SC Dons, UTR and that about, we would be there every Sunday morning. We'd be there every Sunday. And that's what they've brought in. Like, we grew up watching like wrestling, innit? Like WWF and that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Stone Cold Rock and them, man.
Do you know what, as well? I think that's when it really hits home, like, for you to go to a different country and to get the recognition for something that you're doing just from your bedroom or like just from a football pitch. Like, we've gone Miami, LA, and like that's miles away. Do you know when it really hit me? It's when we went to a game. I think EA took us to a game, a Liverpool game against Red Star.
Champions League,
in Serbia.
Yeah.
I promise you,
that was
as a black male, that is one of the scariest experiences I've had in terms of being abroad. 2 people, no representative or anything, just 2 of us going through their crowd. You know they can be hostile.
Yeah.
So we're getting those frosty vibes, and I'm thinking, It's just scary. Like they're looking at us like, go on, do one thing. Do you know what I mean? So I'm seeing that, and then like all of a sudden we're in the stadium. This little boy's there with his dad, and he's looking at me. I'm thinking he's never seen a black person before. 'Cause for a lot of people in those areas, that's what it's like. And in the end, the dad comes up to me and he's like, "Yeah, excuse me, like, are you a YouTuber? Like, my son wants to take a picture of you." And I was like, do you know what? This is where it's crazy. This is somewhere I felt so uncomfortable, but even in this area, someone still has support for what we're doing over here, and I think that's immense.
It's mad, bro. I mean, every country that we've been to, we've been recognised by people.
That's crazy.
Like Cancun, New York. Remember New York?
Yeah.
Cancun, Brazil. Like it's mad. It's mental.
It's surreal, man.
It's surreal.
But and I was just you try to just drop it in there and didn't expect LA.
We said good job.
Was that a private jet thing?
No, I don't.
Was you there at Fight Night?
I see the picture.
Nah.
You weren't there, no?
Nah.
Okay.
No. I do love LA though, but I don't think I'm
LA
going
is
back
the
anytime
best
soon.
place. Oh
It's
my
really
god.
nice. I'm not bougie. I don't do all this like first class. I've been in first class once.
Okay.
Ever.
Not business then.
No. Only once.
Yeah.
I'm a simple guy. Look what I'm wearing, man. Garms.
Just love that.
What? You just dropped that.
Yeah.
We'll put the link in. If you had to put a name on the London Cup this year, what would you reckon?
Under the radar.
Yeah, did you say that confidently?
Under the radar.
I put it in God's hands.
Yeah.
I
But the thing is, we believe in God too, yeah? That's the thing. But I'm saying, no, put it out there.
If
Right, who do you see yourselves playing in a fight?
If there's a final.
Yeah, final.
Who you looking you can see in the final, under the radar verse? Because you do believe we're going to get to the final?
or
you're confident that
I'm 110% confident.
that you can get.
I'm thinking. I think it's honestly you lot all Lambert. But again, that's only because I don't know
too much about other teams.
M-boys, I don't really know much. Just all I know is that they beat.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was a big scout for them, and it's made their name ring, but then they lose the week after, and it's like, who are you again? Do you know what I mean? And that's what you have to realise. To put yourself up there, you've got to be consistent, consistently win, consistently turn up, have that same consistent team. We're in a position where we've got Dolby and Dino coming back after a year out.
What's your squad depth like? You got a good depth.
Yeah. I think it's the best that we've had.
Yeah.
Ever. I think this season we've got at least 2 or 3 backups for each position.
Which will take a note, right?
Which is probably
Marf, I gave him a keeper one time.
New signing for us, Eze. If you were watching us earlier this season, you would have seen him when he played for Bayswater. On the score sheet as well, he's going to be replaced by young Philly, aka Soccer Aid Scorer, aka Mr. Yeah Man.
But the squad depth is good, man. It's as you said, having someone like Dolby and Dino coming back. For us, it's like we've signed. You don't know Eze. Eze we've signed.
Eze is a good player.
Eze, we signed Liam.
And you got Philly as well.
We signed Philly. We signed.
What position does he play?
Philly's a winger as well. And we
Big
signed
up Philly, man.
So how many cup competitions are you got in? London Cup, League?
So we got London Cup and we got about 4 or 5 in our league.
Okay.
So that's why, in our first season, we didn't really join any county cups.
Exactly. There's a lot to go on.
And even now,
with the whole madness.
Who knows when the season's actually going to end now?
Yeah, I know. What's your thought on double headers?
Personally,
Sunday?
It's going to have to be.
That's the only way to complete the league, though.
That's mad.
It's so dead, bro.
I think it's so dead, but
I don't know how it's going to happen either.
You can't play a team once.
Because we've now missed 4 weeks. Considering we've missed more because of the weather, killed us on a couple occasions. Then we're in England, bruv. December is not the greatest weather. January is not even the greatest. Even February's a bit.
It gets worse.
So Lord knows. And we're in the London Cup, the league, obviously the league. PCC and PPC.
Yeah.
Kent Cup got cancelled.
Oh, it's 100%.
Yeah,
that's done. That's written off. So we're in 4?
You see the PCC and the PPC, are they separate to your league or are they?
No, that's league competition.
League
That's league competition. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean,
I don't like the idea of it because you got to think some players would have come off playing on a Saturday.
it's long, bro.
You're not going to want
And
to
it's
play a
like-
team,
you
play a
still-
stronger
you still
team.
play that?
Yeah, but like once you play, say you play a game, sometimes it takes 60 minutes to break a team down. You know that. Yeah, but then like, let's just say you do that, you win the game, and you got to play again. It's like. But luckily for us, we've got a big squad. To the point I was just saying to the man earlier, if it did happen to be that, we have enough quality to have like
211.
How many? What's the maximum registration in your team?
There is none.
There is no
You
maximum.
haven't got one.
No,
You've got one.
no.
There's a maximum registration.
Yeah,
Oh, is that for your team or for your league?
For the league.
Oh, is
Oh
it?
no, with us, we can register 170 players if we wanted to.
Okay, that makes
But you can
so much
only
sense.
obviously bring 16 on a Sunday.
So we can only register 30.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
so. And this is why this whole situation.
you might have to make them relook at it
Yeah. It's
because registering it shouldn't be a problem.
Sunday league is
realistically.
supposed to be able to register as many people. Well, that's what it's about. Register as much people you can if you want.
it's only.
But I guess that also is their way of trying to make because listen, if you register 70 people, you could have someone that plays once the whole season. It doesn't make sense.
Well, that's why for the cups and stuff, you have to have played a certain amount
Certain
of
games.
otherwise you're not eligible.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider coming into our league?
I haven't given it any thought, but I think if we reach our height in this league, then we'd have to find a new challenge. I can't just sit in the same spot and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Can you imagine the amount of games in that?
That's what I'm thinking. Like you lot have a number of teams already. How many teams are in there? 12.
11.
Nah, what's it? Was it 11 this year?
Yeah, 3 are going down this year though.
There's 11 people in our league this year.
10, yeah,
11 teams, yeah.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. We won't fit them in unless it's a double header.
It's so imagine if they didn't, if it stayed at 11, then us trying to join. To then for the league to have to kick someone out and then it's just.
I mean, if it's
Hey,
possible,
Mark,
we'll
don't
look
worry, I've got
into
you.
it.
in
Yeah,
that.
I don't know how.
Don't worry, I've got you on that one.
We'll speak.
Yeah.
We'll speak. Don't worry. But again, that for me is a good look because it's like you've got yourselves, you've got Lambeth, and then
UTR.
so that'll be 3 big.
Them will be them see the league committee. They're going to be doing this.
Oh, cup final!
So part of me thinking about it still. You know what I'm saying?
Boys, we've got the yachts on ready.
Yeah.
Put the word in, boys.
That'd be mad though.
Yeah,
The coverage would be mad because
that
that
would
would
be
film
mad,
their
yeah.
games, we film our games, you lot film the games. So
So
every week there's a
Being
bloody
incredible.
game from
Oh,
the NFL.
trust me. When our game's finished, boy, on that phone,
Oh,
the results,
yeah.
the results straight away.
Ain't that one of the best things?
Straight away.
You know, like after a Sunday game,
Yeah.
and it's like you've won your game, and you get to look at the results of the other teams. It's like, oh my gosh, that game went
Do you
that
know when
way.
it was mad?
Oh,
When we had the documentary, I promise you, that was one of the maddest things I've ever experienced in my life. Like, the way it went, we weren't supposed to win that league. There was a game that they gave us a loss for because we hadn't paid £75 of fines or something.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell us, oh, we're going to fine you if you don't pay it by
Yeah.
thing. They didn't give us the last warning or anything. They just fined us. They told us the next morning when we couldn't pay anymore. When it's like £75, we can pay that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we ended up losing the game, and the way it was going, we were like points behind and stuff. And we finished the game. It's
It
like
literally-
Long Lane beat Spring Hill, and it's like what?
Yeah.
And then it's all to play for.
Oh,
Then we beat Long Lane, and it was
That
like
is, I don't want to cut the podcast. I need to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
So sorry.
It's crazy.
I've been holding for so long and it's affecting my ability to have a conversation.
No, it's true. Like, every time the.
Huh?
Oh, you're right, there, mate.
And is that Ultimate Team? So, in your this is why I stopped playing the Ultimate Team. Like I was one of them ones, yeah. I'd build a team of like Championship players, yeah, with a couple Premier League players because I know they're all English, and I'd know like, look, I'd have like a chemistry would be sick. I'd have like a Joe Hart on like I don't know, like Shield or whatever. Yeah. I'd have my whole team like that, and then I'd come against a guy like Q online, yeah, and I see he's got Pele, Ronaldinho, Cristiano Ronaldo. He's got Diabala in a 10. He's got all these players. I'm thinking.
You know what I tell people now? I say it just is what it is, because there was a time where I was in your position where.
Look at you talking down to the normal.
I saw a tweet one time.
If you just work hard, you'll get there.
I saw a tweet one time. I think you beat someone 1-0 or something.
And he said, look at the spending.
No. They had like bare shots on you or something. I remember your reply was like.
Oh no! I said.
I can't remember. It was so classic.
Welcome to.
Yeah, something like that.
Because people see the team and they play mad possession.
Yeah,
that's
because
boring.
the guy was basically saying that it's not fair. But you got this player, you got that player, you got this, you got that, you got that.
Yeah.
What, bro? It's like you just said, bro.
I said it is what it is. Like
I'm
I
here
remember the
for
time
reason.
when I had
I think I saw
the
that.
deadest players.
Yeah.
I had the deadest players, and I had to make it work and stuff like that. So I know how it feels to be on the other side.
Yeah.
But people message me and go, you only won because of your team, like pay to win. I go, yeah, I paid, so I'm winning.
Remember when we was filming, one time we tried to do a little bit of the gaming thing. Was gonna film us. We started in like League 2 or something.
Oh yeah, the gaming series.
We done it with Mitchell, me, you,
and
Mitchell
JR.
and JR. Yeah. And then him and JR was like, nah, let's not cheat. We don't want to cheat. We want to build our own players. Me said, bro, get the Arabs in, man.
Get the
Hey, bro,
man.
hey, get the best players.
Let's get
F this.
financial takeover.
I do it just solely for the content as well, because apart from being able to make back on the investment anyway, like people want to see the best players in the game, and if that's what works, that is what works.
And for a message of encouragement for people that do the YouTube thing or coming up, do you have any words of encouragement? I mean, I remember me and Chris when we first sat down to sorry, this made me feel dizzy. These Haribo's, man, it's throwing me off there completely. When me and Chris sat down to kind of bring this SE Dons thing to YouTube, me and him sat down and we said, listen, bro, it sounds dumb, but we can't chase the money. We're not doing it for the money, because if we do, we're gonna make decisions based only on financial gain. Like, it took me and him about how long before we even saw something from YouTube?
I think 10 months or something.
A good 10 months, bro, of work. Yes. And when I say we saw something from YouTube, it was £40. Because I remember it was gas, bro. It was like, oh, this is sick, bro. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So for you, there's someone that's been doing YouTube for however long you've been doing it, do you have words of encouragement for young YouTubers that maybe want, because it's real now. Yeah. When we used to work in schools and I asked kids, what do you want to do when you're older? Oh, I want to be a doctor. Oh, I want to be a YouTuber. Yeah. Like, kids actually want to be YouTubers now. It's a form.
It's crazy. I had my next door neighbours like Ben talk to me, whatever. But find out their grandson's watching my YouTube. Yeah, he wants to be a YouTuber. How does he start? Like,
that's my point. So do you have any words? Because I think at the same time, grass always looks green. Like, they could look at someone like yourself with 1.8 million subscribers and think, oh yeah, Manny's made it. Yeah. But it takes a lot of graft, a lot of time gets put in. I didn't know that you have to play 30 games in a week, and I don't know that.
I do it every week.
And this is me who speaks to you.
It used to be 40 games.
And that's what I'm trying to say. So people were interested in this because with us, that's why I said, how long does it take to do that at Sunday League? And you said 2 hours. Like, wow. It takes us like 3 days to do our... But like you said, that's our main thing. Yeah. And we put the hours into it because that's our main thing. I don't want to waffle too much, but yeah, do you have words of encouragement or something? Or how can someone... Is it possible for a young child watching this right now, who watches UTR, watches SE Dons and wants to be a YouTuber, is it a possible career choice?
It is, but it's
a gamble.
It depends on the individual, but everything's a gamble.
Exactly.
And if you don't gamble, you don't.
There you go.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
and that's why it comes back to when I didn't want to talk at the time when you said about you went to uni and you didn't want to work in the office and that comes from inside you though.
Yeah.
And not everyone has that inside thing.
But a lot of people don't want to do that, but they don't give themselves an alternative. And
because
I think that's a big issue.
But like I said, if you were to sit here now and say, kid, you want to be a YouTuber? Cool, go and do it. There's no safety. There is
no safety, but I had no safety.
Yeah.
In a sense, people might say, you had your brother and this. Like, my brother was grown as well.
And
he had no safety.
That's not you.
He finished uni.
Yeah.
He was doing YouTube at uni, running 2 channels, whatever. And his is different. But if I think of, I remember having, bro, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be real with you. I was laying in my bed at uni, accounting and finance. I'd barely been going lectures. Bro, I was laying in my bed, I cried. I said, God, how am I here? Like, my whole time I said, I'm not going to uni, I don't want to do this, blah, blah. And I find myself here, and that was probably one of the darkest points in my life. And I thought, this needs to stop. Like, I can't live my life like this. I said, if I was to die tomorrow at age 18, what are they going to say about me? Like, he went to uni and, like, that's it. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I want to go and do something different. I had no safety. I didn't think about anything else. Didn't think how about I was going to make money or whatever. I just said, I'm going to leave uni because I don't want to be here. And I think that's what it takes, is sometimes a step of faith just to be like, I don't want to do this. Let me try something else. So it doesn't mean that's going to happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight to me. I thought maybe it might be quick because I'm seeing other people doing stuff. And also watching other people will slow you down. So do what you're doing, be in your own lane, rather than hate on people and try and drag them down. Think, what are they doing right that I can add to myself? And when you start something like YouTube, Twitch or whatever, like, you have to have the mentality that you're doing it for the fun and it's not going to happen overnight. Do you know what I mean? Like, I got friends that I'm trying to help with all that stuff and they get down, and I think, do you know how good you've got it in the sense that you've got people around you that can help you and show you the ropes and stuff like that? you need to appreciate every number that you get. I'm sure you guys appreciate every
1
view
million,
that
1
you
million,
get.
man.
Like
That's what I'm saying.
you started off maybe getting 100, 1,000, 2,000. Now what you're getting 150 plus each week. That's crazy. You got to appreciate the come up. It doesn't happen overnight, but with things in life now, everyone wants to see it happen overnight because X is doing it or Z is doing it.
But also, I think they forget the work it takes as well. Because I mean, I'm on this thing of you can be anything you want to be, anything you want to be. Like we on our board it says there, dare to think huge. Yeah, we're into this writing things and putting things into existence. Like if you want to be a millionaire, you can be a millionaire, and that's coming from someone that's come from very humble beginnings. It's a mind state. Do you understand? But I think what people also forget is the work and the hours that have to be put in. Like everything that we're sitting in here has come from real hard work. Do you know what I'm trying to say? When I look at your numbers and I see 1.8 million subscribers, I think he's worked for that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because I know how much it takes to work there. And that's why I'm saying when there's kids that look at us and they think, oh, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to be a YouTuber. It's not. You have to be able to take risks. No security, all this kind of stuff. But eventually, that risk, the reward, as you said, no risk, no reward.
Yeah.
Usually, when you're taking risk, the reward is higher. So you can, because I'm the same, bro. I've never had an offer. I can't do it. Like sometimes we joke because he's like, I've done this because I don't want to.
I don't want an office job.
Whereas in the office all day here, do you know what I mean?
You know what? It's kind of scary for me as well. It's like I've always said I don't want to work for someone else, but in working for myself, it's like I work harder than I would working for someone else.
And that's what I say about
it's our own hours. If you don't do it, no one's going to do it for you.
Because you sleep less, you have to work harder than everyone else, and that's what people don't get. You know, and
it's hours. Anything, and what I realised is everyone we grew up going, you want to be a footballer, and one reason or another it doesn't happen. But you got to respect anyone that you see in that position because they're making a sacrifice. It's the hours that they put in behind the scenes and stuff. There's so many sacrifices. You lot know a lot of footballers. I know a lot of footballers. How much do they have that discipline and they can't do this, they can't do that? Being successful, you can't do it without sacrifice.
Yeah.
And you're sacrificing something, be it time, family, money, sleep. You have to sacrifice something. And I think in this generation, a lot of people don't realise that. So when it does come to hard work, they're like, whoa.
It's a lifestyle. It's very much a lifestyle, and you pay for success in advance and in full. You don't always see it straight away. And every story, and the kind of people that we bring to the podcast have all got the same gene, the same mentality, and it's good to be surrounded by winners because you sit at the table with winners. The conversations are always different.
But also like that, what you're saying about not hating on people and stuff is because people tend to think, if I had this, then no. Or if I had this person, no. Or if we had that, then I could. But do it then. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I think also you got to take, for everyone listening as well, like you got to take pride in your work. If it's to be a YouTuber, then your content needs to be good. Let's be real.
I think everyone comes in and wants to like do the same stuff.
This is what that's the fact. Your content has to be good. There has to be something different that people are going to gravitate to because, for example, without being rude, there's a lot of Sunday teams now. Yeah. But is your content good?
I can't watch a lot of them.
I've watched. Well, because do you know what? Some people see it from the outside and they go, they're commentating, they're doing this, whatever, and they try it themselves and they go, actually, it's not that easy to be entertaining or draw someone in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like, obviously, it becomes like, it's your way. What's the word? Like, it hurts you. It starts to hurt you because you think what you're doing is the same as X, but we're not getting the same result. Yeah. So.
But you've got to do it for a reason though. And if you people say your why and things like that. There's a why and a reason. For example, if you're doing YouTube and you're doing it for the views, you have to think marketing wise. This is the market I'm trying to attack. This is how we're going to engage them. This is how we're going to do it. Whereas that is similar to what the Sunday League YouTube scene is doing at the moment. They're all seeing, for example, the UTRs, the SC Dons, the Bay Teases, the Rising Ballers, and they're thinking, right, we're a Sunday League team. It's me and a bunch of friends. Let's record it.
And also people think about like just getting the best ballers to a team.
Yeah.
It's not that simple.
It's like the same thing like with FIFA. It's not just about how good you are at the game. It's putting your own style. There's so many people that's so much better than me at the game. But people don't want to watch it because they don't want to watch you just sweat a game and just I'm not talking like that's not entertaining.
Is there a story to it? Like, I feel like with a lot of the better YouTube teams, personally, because I've watched, I always tend to watch at least a couple episodes of each new team that I hear about. And what's this? There's no story. Like I see it, and as you said, it's get the best ballers. It's not a story. Like, I watched it when you watched SC Dons. We were dead. All right, there is a clear story to our progression. It's a clear story to everyone else that I've watched. Beatties, to yourselves, everyone else. Rising Ballers, they've got their own story. Everyone's got their own story. When you watch the rest of them, there's no story. Some of them got good products, like the way they present it, but there's actually no story. So now I'm not entertained anymore. I want to see a story. Give me a story, then I'll listen.
It's content over like the look and how it. Do you know what I mean? So every year I try and improve the graphics and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's the content that comes through. But like you were saying, in terms of giving inspiration to people, I'm not saying go out and drop out of whatever you're doing. Obviously, think logically. If you have bills to pay and you need stuff, but also I have the mentality. This is me on a personal note. I have the mentality that what's the point living week to week and because I got bills to pay, why not take that risk? Otherwise, if you're just in a constant loop, how are you going to break out of it?
It's a rat race.
And I saw one of your tweets actually, and I see you say this a lot. It's when you're working, say if you're working in a 9 to 5, it's what you do outside those hours to get you out that 9 to 5. Otherwise, if you're doing the same thing, how do you expect to see?
Because like you said it's about not just saying, oh, give up now. You got to make intellectual risks, intellectual decisions. Do you know what I mean? Like when I decided to go full time on this thing, I had myself in a position where I knew I could afford a rubbish 6-7 months. Do you know what I mean? But again, for those that I never, just because I never done the 9 to 5 or that wasn't for me, I don't disrespect other people's hustles because again, people have children, people have even that you have bills to pay. You have to pay your bills. So if you don't want to indulge in a life of crime, you need to get a 9 to 5. That's nothing wrong with that because that's putting the oil in your wheels. But that's why I always, like you said, the tweet that you pick up in it. Then the most important thing is between 6 and 10. Then. What are you doing in the next 4 hours? Are you working on your business plan? Are you doing the little bit? Because eventually you're going to get to the point where, all right, you know what? I'm actually ready to make that shift. I've got enough money for being paid for my job to make that shift. Do you know what I mean? So intelligent risks is... You
say that, but you also have to remember that you can't just say, I'm going to do something and you haven't even been working on that skill set that whole time while you're saying I'm going to make that transition from a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So like you saying that you asked your mum for the card when you was how old? Like that's you starting that process of 14. So that's starting that process of being at 14 to now. Do you understand? Someone saying they want to do music. I started doing my music when I was 14. I'm 30 now. Do you understand? You can't just say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go and try that." I get that. You should have been working on that skill set already, or understanding what your talent is while you're doing that.
But even with us, we had a coaching company, me, him, and Ryan Palmer, where we taught after school clubs, etc., in primary schools and that. But we always knew that's what we wanted to do. So I went and got a job working as a coach in another company, like 3 or 4 days a week. But when I done that, I done it just to get in and amongst it and see how this thing is run. How does this guy communicate with teachers? How does he communicate with parents, etc.? So I took that skill set into our own company. Do you know what I mean? And I think we need the school as well.
Yeah, we done it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how it works. In terms of that's what I'm saying. Like when you see someone doing something, you learn and you get the basics, and then you run with it. You do your own styles. Yeah. It's important.
But like it's good to have you guys on here, and even this as a conversation, because I'm inspired by energy. Do you know what I mean? And when I look at you and look at you guys, this is your own product, and I like to be around that energy of people that take risks, take gambles, because we're all the same. Everyone in this room probably relates. Do you know what I mean? And with people that do watch us and take inspiration from us, we're very clear with our message of that. We don't hold back. That's why sometimes we can come across a bit rowdy or in people's faces, or because we like to give off confidence. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be like, oh no, this is so hard, life's difficult. Of course life's difficult, do you know what I mean? But we like to tell you, listen, like what I just said, if you want to be a YouTuber, you can. If you want to ride a boat, you can. If you want to be a millionaire, you actually can. You can.
It's all achievable.
Human beings.
It's all achievable.
Everything is possible.
Do you know what? Like when I was at uni as well, that back then I was still trying to do football and stuff. I was waking up, I'd go to the gym, 5 a.m, I'd come back, do a bit of training, go to a lecture, blah, blah, blah. And that's part of what burnt me out. And I was like, doing this alongside YouTube, it was just long. And also I wasn't that confident in YouTube. I had 40,000 subscribers, but I wasn't confident to be recording in my like uni room and people can hear me in the hallway.
Yeah,
and stuff
I'm still like that now. You know,
it's
maybe when I
mad.
do my commentary, and then people in the room, it puts me off.
Yeah.
Now, I need to zone out.
I used to hate that, and I used to hate hearing back the sound of my own voice.
Yeah.
But then, like, there's little things that just would inspire me in those times. So when I was thinking, oh, I can't bother to do football, there was some kid, an Asian guy that just always at the back of our accommodation would go every morning without fail, wearing a different kit, training. And I used to think, like, this guy's not that great, whatever. But then I sat there and I thought to myself, but what's going to stop him from getting better if every day he's doing that? So I might be better than him now, but if he's doing that every day, he's only going to get better. I don't know where this guy is now. Lord hopes he's in a good place and he's actually done well. But
He's still there.
do you know what I mean? But it's, that sort of stuff inspires me, and that's what, when you take a look back and you just sit back and you think, actually, why is someone doing that? Or why am I judging someone for doing that? Do you know what I mean? Like, what does that say about me? What am I doing with my time? Like, so you could laugh at someone and go, say for example, a lot of people say to me, you just made it because your brother or the sidemen made you and stuff like that. I think, no one made me. Yes, there's tools and stuff that can make stuff easier, but no one's been there when I've had videos deleted or like, I've recorded a video. Do you know how many times I've recorded Sunday League? It's not recorded properly and I have to record it again in that same thing.
But it's the same thing on the saying you can lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink. So it's not about them lot made you. Maybe they've led you to the water.
Yeah.
But you've just made use of your utensils. The same as us. Andy Ansell. We work closely with Andy Ansell.
Yeah.
Like we work closely with Andy Ansell. Why would we not learn from him?
Yeah.
Why would we not make use of his contacts? Why would do you know what I'm trying to say? Why would we not? Because there's people that will be around these people, or could be around your brother, sidemen, and not gain anything from that.
Yeah.
Because they're not thinking straight. Do you understand? So, but it's like you said, people will always try and take shots. They'll always try and shoot at your legs.
Right. Like, the one I get a lot is, you just open pack. So if I talk about football, I stick to FIFA. It's like, where do you think FIFA comes from? Football. Like, I've known football.
But you have to ask, why are they so angry to even make that comment?
What's
going wrong in there?
It just is what it is.
Because you never say to someone, and I always say this about people that sometimes that chase their dreams, is that I never tell someone, stick to your 9 to 5, or why you do that. Whatever you do is what
it's
you do.
your thing.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
But it's a mindset, and I think one thing I've learned definitely over the last couple of years is who you surround yourself with is important. And I'm now in a position, not on a I'm above you sort of thing, but I refuse to hang around with people that don't want to go get it and don't want to grind.
Right.
What's that J Hus bar? If you don't want to grind, you get disowned. Because I find it uncomfortable. Like, it's the same reason why I don't really party, because not to say there's nothing wrong with partying every now and then, but I think I'm not where I want to be, so why am I partying? You get me? And a lot of people don't think like that. They think, God, you know what? I'll get drunk or something, forget about the thing, and they come back to the same problems. I didn't expect the situation to change.
Yeah.
But that's just me. That's just how I think anyway.
You're speaking a language that we understand. And that's what I'm trying to say by we're people that this is a family home, we live here, like we're careful who we even bring here. So it's good to hear everything you're saying. I get it. I understand what you're saying. Do you know what I mean? But listen, I think it's been an inspirational conversation. I think hopefully this will shed some light also on UTR, because you are a team that needs to be in the discussion, and you're obviously improving. You made some big signings. London Cup's a big thing for you lot this year. We'll categorically put it out there. I reckon SC Dons are going to win the London Cup this year. You're confident that UTR are going to win the London Cup. I think we both share the same thing, that I don't think we're afraid to play anyone. Hopefully this pandemic thing, man. Hopefully we're back in from next month, man, because
I feel like one thing that I would say is that they forget, in terms of, when I say I'm talking about the government, they forget how much grassroots helps people mentally.
Trust me.
Like, we all can sit here and say, on a Sunday, we wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
We'll be at football, and after you'll be chilling or doing something just because you're around the people that you love. You're enjoying your Sunday, you've had your game, and it's just chilling time now.
Yeah.
So, them taking this away from us, it's not even just us, it's literally everyone that's in grassroots has mentally hurt so many people, and it's only going to get worse if it doesn't get better. And that's something I thought I need to.
Marfin, man. Listen,
Marfin,
Marfin, man. Hey, listen, boys. Thank you so much for coming in. That's another episode of the DONCAST. What you's next?
anything, 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 anything.